What's good, man? Welcome back to the channel. It's Reese the Sideliner as always. I'm still on my championship high, man. I'm gonna be there until game one of the NBA season. I'm ecstatic, bro. I cannot be more happy for what is taking place in the NBA right now. Not only did my team come away as the last team standing in the NBA, raising Larry O'Brien, having our parade today. I couldn't be happier, bro. As an NBA fan, as a fan of the OKC Thunder, this has been a long time coming. Shout out to my boys. Every single one of them got a day of their own in July, from the mayor, from the owner to the GM to Mark Daigneault, obviously Sam Presti, Clay, owner and GM, and then all 15, 17, however many players it is on the roster. Every single player got their own day, with Shea ending the month off July 30th, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander Day in OKC. That's enough Thunder talk for now. We're going to get a lot more of that coming this offseason, trust me when I say. But what we are really here for is the fact that the NBA is giving us more gifts. Not only the day of Game 7, which I didn't even talk about, Kevin Durant got traded. The day after that, and the day after that, we just getting trades out of left field. And a lot of it was expected, like the Kevin Durant trade. My reaction when he got traded was like, oh, okay. I thought I saw somebody standing behind me. In the window, rather. Not because it was just like we knew he was going to get traded regardless. And the package was really underwhelming, pause. But I guess for both sides, it made sense for them. And when you think about Jaylen Green and Dillon Brooks, and then the number 10 pick as well, and just a stockpile of players that the Rockets have, especially bringing in a lottery pick, they would have never been able to really utilize that player. So that's a great pick up in a trade for the Phoenix Suns, not having any draft capital really up until they made some of these trades recently. And now to be in the lottery, you couldn't ask for a much better trade. Also bringing in a young, still promising to me player in Jaylen Green, and then Dillon Brooks. We know what he brings to any NBA team. His attitude, his aggression, his defensive IQ. I really am a fan of Dillon Brooks. He's one of those obscure players that you don't really love their game, but you love what they bring to the game, and he's one of those guys for me. And he gets a lot of slack, and rightfully so, for some of the things that he used to do out in Memphis. But I mean, I'm just a fan of how he plays, and he's not a terrible guy. Like some people can say Draymond is because the shit he says. We're not even gonna get into that. But on the final day of the NBA season, the Suns got into those conversations with sweepstakes kind of between the Suns and the Miami Heat for Kevin Durant, and the Rockets obviously were able to pull that out. And for the Rockets being the 2 seed last year, that puts them even higher on people's. Even their championship odds, they jumped to second behind the OKC Thunder for winning a championship next year, just off of this trade alone. They were already a 2 seed out west without a guy who was proven as much as Kevin Durant is. Yeah, Fred VanVleet is a champion, but he was not the main guy on that championship team. We know who Kevin Durant is. We know the interview. Y'all know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant. MVP, 4-time scoring title champion, 2 times Finals MVP. Although he had to do it a different way than we would have liked it. In retrospect, it's cool with me because this championship felt so much more meaningful than it probably would have for me being at 13 years old. So I'll take it the way that it is, man. But pairing Kevin Durant alongside Amen Thompson, Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith, Cam Whitmore, Reed Shepherd. I really, really like what Houston has going on out there. And then not to mention, you got Ime Udoka, one of the best coaches in the league, probably a top 5 coach in the league at this point, controlling it all. And I know he'll be able to do so very, very well. And then Kevin Durant is just a plug-and-play kind of player. And my initial reaction, I know why my initial reaction was like that. Even though I knew Kevin Durant was going to get traded, the fact that this man is on his 5th team and he's revered as one of the top 10, top 15 players of all time. People still label him as the greatest scorer they've ever seen, even though we clearly see a scorer greater in LeBron James with 42,000 points. They still give him that title. Some people do. For him to have and be who he is, for him to be on his 15, and for him to be my second favorite player of all time, I wasn't happy about it. I wasn't happy about the trade to Phoenix, but it was what it was. Obviously, honestly, if he did not get traded to Phoenix, I don't know when I would have started doing this basketball YouTube shit, because it was that morning I woke up and I seen that. I'm like, there's no way I can't make a video. So here we are now. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of him being traded, but the fact that he got traded, you know what I mean, is we were expecting it all season long. I mean, there was really nothing they could do with that team. Bradley Beal's not willing to waive his player option or his no trade clause, so their hands are tied. They had to trade Kevin Durant and get what they could. So Kevin Durant's in Houston now, and then there was speculation that the Jazz and the Sixers even discussed a trade that would send Paul George to Utah. There wasn't too much information on that, so I'm not going to get too much into that, but the fact that Paul George could possibly end up in Utah is crazy to me. Probably be like a large marketing trade since he wasn't able or eligible to be traded last season, signing that extension, but we'll see. And now to the meat and potatoes of the video, man. The Boston Celtics have been very, 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 very active. I didn't even speak on the Desmond Bane trade. I literally pulled up to church on Father's Day, and I got the notification from Shams that Desmond Bane got traded. The Magic did what they had to do, and that's all I can say about that. Now we'll have videos later coming in the offseason about every team, so just stay tuned for all of that. But the Boston Celtics, man, like I said, they've been very, very active over the past couple of days, and they ended up trading, well, really the past 24 hours. They traded Jrue Holiday to the Blazers once more for Anthony Simons and 2 second-round picks. And I honestly, I mean, like, what can I say? Like, the Boston Celtics, like, the rich get richer. The rich get richer. Obviously, shout out to Tatum. Get well soon, my dog. He's going to miss most of, if not the entirety of 2025-2026 NBA season. So they needed another scoring punch, and trading a guy like Jrue Holiday, where he was making so much money for a young guy on the last year of his deal. You'll see how he performs and how he meshes with the team over this season, if you want to extend him or not going into the next season. Or if you're not really feeling it, Jason Tatum's coming back, and, you know, you could wash your hands of that and go look somewhere else. So for that move for the Boston Celtics to get off some of that money, that is really, really big for them. And then for the Blazers, I'm not really sure what they really want to do with that, trading for Jrue Holiday in that nature. But they made, what Sham says, an aggressive move to acquire Jrue Holiday. Like I said previously, who they traded for out of Milwaukee to get Damian Lillard. They traded Jrue Holiday for Dame, traded Jrue Holiday again for Malcolm Brogdon to the Celtics. So he's back on the team, and I'm not sure really what they want to do. But for the Celtics, that is really, really, really good for them. I like the move. I think Anthony Simons was a player that wasn't disgruntled, but we knew could possibly and most likely would have been on the move this offseason. And once Desmond Bane got traded to Orlando, that kind of dwindled out of a lot of people's minds, like, damn, Anthony Simons may be stuck a Blazer. But the fact that the Boston Celtics were the first team to strike the fire, I mean, you gotta tip your caps to them, because they are not only getting under the cap with that move. About an hour ago, they traded in a 3-team trade Kristaps Porzingis. They traded the two people that everybody said was going to get traded, got traded, and that's Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Everyone knew these two guys were not coming back to the team, but just to see it in this nature and this early is surprising to me. This is obviously Houston made the most aggressive move, or the biggest move, acquiring Kevin Durant. Boston Celtics wouldn't have been able to do that, because you might as well just kept Jrue Holiday for the money that Kevin Durant and Jrue Holiday make. But I think that the Boston Celtics are making themselves, or setting themselves up for this next season without Jason Tatum very, very well. In this trade, it was Boston Celtics, Atlanta Hawks, and the Brooklyn Nets. It's a lot here. Hold on. Kristaps Porzingis in the second-round pick to the Hawks. Terrence Mann in Atlanta's number... Oh, that's Terrence Mann? I got hyped because I thought it was Trey Mann. Terrence Mann in Atlanta's number 22 pick to the Nets. And Georges Niang and a second-rounder to the Celtics. So they're just clearing cap space, like I said, either preparing for a re-signing of Anthony Simons if they see that meshes well, or making themselves a top suitor for a free agent come 2026, 2027 season. I'm not sure who's on that list right now. I don't even care to look. But for the Celtics to be pursuing and making these aggressive moves so early, you see and sense that they are not allowing the Jason Tatum injury to derail them or remove the belief that they are a championship contending team. As we know, they just came off of the most recent championship aside of the Thunder just a year ago. So they still believe they can contend. You got a guy in Jaylen Brown who I just heard earlier, Jeff Teague and them was talking about. He might go out there. Whoa. I just had a Tyrese Halliburton. He might go out there and try to average 30 points and give the Celtics and himself the chance to win the MVP and be a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference without a Jason Tatum, because the East right now, we don't really know what's going on. I heard rumors, or maybe it was even true, that Darius Garland and the Cavs were offering Darius Garland to try to bring in Kevin Durant. So the Cavs could be potentially moving and shopping a guy like Darius Garland this offseason. Or maybe even a Jared Allen, as they see they have a guy in Evan Mobley that they can build their front court with and around. Being the defensive player of the year, taking the offensive leap that he did this year, being an all-star. Like, those are the type of things that the Cavs are really got to make decisions about. But I didn't think that, I don't know, it's just a lot going on. I didn't think that Darius Garland would be one of those decisions that they'd be making. I knew prior to this season, there was the talks that Donovan Mitchell wanted out because he didn't want to play with Darius Garland, or vice versa. But they made it work. 1 seed out east, 64 wins out east. Like, they were the most dominant team for the entire season in the Eastern Conference. They were even better than the Thunder at one point, going on numerous 15-game win streaks. Like, the Cavs were no slouches this past season. Making a trade for DeAndre Hunter, we thought could have really set them up for a potential Cavs-Thunder NBA Finals. But the fact that they got so banged up going into the end of the season and in that first round, they just didn't have that chance. And they ran into the most hottest team in the entire NBA come the postseason in the Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton being the best player in the entire postseason come clutch time. He gave them hell, and they just couldn't, I don't know. I hope that things continue to go kind of haywire, because Shams even said it himself that this will be the craziest offseason we've seen maybe ever. And it's already looking to be that way. It set itself up to be that way. The draft hasn't even happened yet. It's tomorrow. There's a lot going on, bro. Like, there's a lot going on, bro. And I know I've given my respect and my due diligence to GMs like a Sam Presti with the OKC Thunder, Kevin Pritchard with the Pacers, and Raphael Stone with the Houston Rockets. But we forgot. Let's not forget. Brad Stevens been doing this for a long time, too. Brad Stevens is stamped in this, bro. He traded Kemba Walker for Al Horford, traded Langford and whoever JR is for a first-round pick and Derek White, traded Marcus Smart for Kristaps Porzingis, traded Robert, I want to call him Robert Smart, bro. Time Lord. What is his name, bro? It's not coming to me right now. They traded him and Brogdon for Jrue Holiday, extended all of their core pieces, and now they're trading the aging Jrue Holiday for a young Anthony Simons and 2 second-round picks. This is like the battle of great minds in the front office, bro, because as we can see, those teams that I named with those GMs, they were incompetent. They were in the top realms of their conferences. They may have even all. I'm not gonna say all won their division. I'm not sure about the Pacers. The Cavs won their division. The Celtics won their division. Thunder won their division. Rockets won their division. Like, the general managers are really where it starts. That's how you build championship teams, not through players really just progressing and figuring it out on the court. No, you have to have somebody up there that knows what they're doing. And for the Boston Celtics, clearly Brad Stevens has a great head on his shoulders, and he knows what the hell he's doing. This video really was kind of all over the place. I had all these screenshots in here so I could like piece together a podcast episode come sometime this week, most likely this weekend. But now that there's just too much going on for me to keep sitting on all of these trades, so yeah, video is done, I guess. And we'll do more in-depth conversation and have guests on finally this offseason. I got that in the works for sure. I've been saying it for a long time. It's finally in the works. Got a lot in the works. Just stay tuned, bro. I'm telling you, we about to really take off with this content shit, man. And I don't even mean like being huge or like extra popular or known or whatever that is. I just mean like getting locked in and really producing the best content that I can, bro. So as I always say, bro, just stick along for the ride, man. I appreciate y'all though. OKC 2025 champs. I'm gonna say that every video probably. I'm gonna say that every video. So get used to it. I'm not shutting up about it. We have so many naysayers. It's finally good. It feels good, and it's going to I just think about basketball differently. And it might be, y'all might think I sound crazy saying this, but now I think about basketball, and I think I can watch basketball differently. Now the fact that my team won a championship, it's crazy. It's crazy. But this was the most excited I was for an NBA season. It kind of fell off though because I had a lot going on this season. And I might even have more going on this next season. But I'm so locked in for this season, bro. The offseason just started. And we already got shit taking place. The draft is tomorrow. Summer League's in a couple weeks. I'm locked in. I'm so excited for what's about to take place. And then in October, once the season tips off and the Thunder have their first home game, I will be there. I couldn't make the parade. $700 for a ticket, I'm not doing it. But I will be there once October comes. Yes, I will. I don't care how much it costs. I've never been on a plane, so I'm scared as hell. But I gotta do it. I gotta be in the building for that, bro. I got to. I started a video off about the Thunder, and I'm ending it with the Thunder. You damn right. I appreciate y'all tuning in, though. Let's lock in for a long ride, man. Peace.